Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, Graduating in the Time of COVID-19, Maintaining Balance in Uncertain Times. I am one of your co-hosts, Adam Mayer. I'm the Director of Career Development in the Center for Career Services, and we are joined by my colleague.
Hello there, I'm Dr. Sudha Wadhwani. I am a staff psychologist at CAPS, Counseling and Psychological Services, and also the coordinator of outreach and prevention. Welcome.
Absolutely, welcome. So those of you out there, we just want to start off by saying that we're thankful that you're here. We hope that we're able to answer some questions, provide some insight. We have allowed Dr. Wadhwani and myself time at the end for questions, so please hold on to your questions. We will address them as time permits at the end. And if there are any concerns about the content here, whether or not it's going to be recorded, it will be. So anything you see or any of the things we're about to discuss, this will be recorded and provided, access will be provided to you. We will send a follow-up email with that link. So again, this is being recorded. You will be able to access this through our YouTube channel. And let's begin.
Excellent.
So a little bit of perspective. This is a quote I saw from an author, Hamza Mudassir. This was on Entrepreneur magazine. So black swan events, such as economic recessions and pandemics, change the trajectory of governments, economies, and businesses, altering the course of history. This was his opening line in his article in Entrepreneur. And I know Dr. Wadhwani and I, in putting this together, we sort of came upon this quote from Teddy Roosevelt, which speaks clearly to the perspective of in the unprecedented time we're going through. Do what you can with what you have where you are. So try and put that one in the back of your head as we go through this. And again, this was sort of our guiding principle in terms of the content as we move forward.
Absolutely. This will be woven into everything that we talk about today. And we really want to recognize that, we are all going through this together. This is, as Adam stated, an unprecedented time. I don't know if there's a day that goes by where I don't use that word or the word uncertain, or I say, I feel like I'm in a movie.
Yeah.
I think I say that constantly.
Yeah.
It's very surreal. All of us may be coping differently. We're all, I'm sure, doing the best with what we can, and it's okay to feel all kinds of ways right now. I'm just really happy that we're able to join like this and be here for you. I can only imagine graduating college at this time. I do have a son who just turned 18 a week ago and is a graduating senior in high school. So, he won't be having a graduation or a senior prom. And, I can definitely relate as a parent to some of what you're experiencing in terms of the disappointments and losses. And I'm sure it's very, very stressful to be graduating in such a time. So we really want to be here for you. We want to be a resource for you. And hopefully this webinar can help you feel more connected and less alone.
So our agenda, we've both introduced ourselves, and Dr. Wadhwani, if you want to maybe start with the portion about what, please.
So we will be talking about some of the anxiety and concerns that you may be having right now in this job search process. First, we're going to be evaluating and checking in on everyone's anxiety. And then, as Adam mentioned, we're going to be really focusing on strategies to control what we can. We'll be talking about mindset, cognitive strategies, strategies for balance. There's so many things we're going to get into. We really want to help give you support and some tools to utilize during this time in the job search. to find balance, to be able to cope. We will also talk a bit about the importance of self-care,
Hmm.
self-compassion at this time, and also the importance more than ever. Networking and connection is always important, but I think in this time of physical distancing, it is even more critical. And so we will talk about how to do that during this pandemic.
All right. So we're going to launch a poll regarding your current state of anxiety. We did set this poll up in advance, and when you answer, if you choose to, it will be anonymous. So this is not associated with your name, your account, your IP address, or any of those things. So let's launch that poll, and we do ask you to participate. So if you could take a look here, we'll launch it. And okay. So if you take a look, what is your current state? Okay, I see folks are already starting to answer. Current state of anxiety regarding the job search process. 1 is the lowest level of anxiety, 5 is the highest. Now you guys are a good active group. We've got 80% of you who have already voted. Some of you might be on the phone, which might be harder to do. So, okay, that looks pretty good. So, okay, that looks good. So, in terms of the poll itself, it looks as if in the largest percentage, 37% of you are feeling a 4. So it certainly looks like considerable anxiety there. Now that just popped up at 38%. And then tied is level 3 and level 5. So regardless of where we are, very few of us are feeling little to no anxiety. Some are feeling some, but again, maybe Dr. Woodwani, the overwhelming 28% said 3, 38% said a number 4, and then 28% said number 5. So the highest level.
Okay, so people are feeling, let's look at this. People are feeling very anxious. So more than, oh, you're testing my math. More than 70–80% are over 3. And 64%, I believe, are over a 4. So very anxious or above. So there's some anxiety going
Sure.
around, and I would say appropriately so. Um, if you think about it, how can you not be anxious right now?
Absolutely.
Right? So that makes it even more important to stay grounded at this time. I feel like I was talking to Adam yesterday as we were preparing, and I came up with the next roller coaster ride at Great Adventure that we can call global pandemic. And I feel you all are the first participants in this roller coaster. If you do pay attention to the news, the highlights, CNN, New York Times, the economy is very uncertain. We see many businesses around us, of course, are closed due to the social distancing or physical distancing needs, and the unemployment rate is climbing exponentially and very scary. So how incongruent it must be to be hearing these figures, and at the same time you have invested so much on this journey, this chapter of your life, to build the credentials and the skills to embark on the workforce and to become independent and to do amazing things for our community and our world. And here you are getting on this roller coaster that you did not buy tickets for, you had no plans to embark on, and you have no idea where it's going. So it's in the dark. It must be so, so scary. And we want to help you to kind of build some scaffolding around that roller coaster and some supports around that roller coaster so that you feel less alone, and hopefully have an increased sense of control as much as possible through this process. And all we can do, everyone, is what we can do right now. And please have confidence in the fact that you have invested so much into this. And it's not just about right now, it's about all the skills that you've built until now, the experience and the resilience that you have under your belt going into this process, okay? And also know that we are in this together. It is scary, but you are not alone. Actually, if you're not scared, I I think I might be more
That's a
concerned.
great point.
You know,
Absolutely.
right? You know, it's a
Yeah.
little bit of denial, going on there. you know, but seriously, I think that there is room for both, and allow yourself to feel both. Experience those moments of fear, which are completely valid and legitimate. There are going to be those moments of doom and despair, and of course, disappointment to be graduating at a time like this. Who knew? Who could ever have imagined? But also allow yourself opportunities to do things you otherwise may not have been able to do. Allow yourself to experience some of the silver linings. And I don't want to take away from the pain. There are some really horrific things going on out there, and this roller coaster ride is filled with loss, filled with, of course, disappointment, health concerns, anxiety. People are grieving. The health disparities, the xenophobia, the racism. There's so many levels of things to be concerned about right now, and I don't want to take away from those. I also do think that we need to take care of ourselves, and I think if we flood ourselves in reading and doing um, uh, focusing on all of these things 100% of the time, it could increase our anxiety. So I think it's important to kind of know yourself and know what your limits are, and find that balance where you may also be taking some opportunities to take care of some things, whether around your home or, I don't know, making photo albums or creative tasks or music. We're all on Netflix. You're not alone, and we need that, but finding a way to balance that, um, and stay connected, even despite the physical distancing. So we need to allow it all right now. Allow yourself to feel what you're feeling, and have those ups and downs right now. But know yourself, know your limits again, and take care of yourself more than ever. So with that said, let's take a moment. We all have been through a journey up until this point. Think about perhaps some of the chapters in your journey, some of those key moments in your journey. So I'm going to ask you to do a little bit of a reflection exercise right now, okay? So take a moment, sit in a comfortable posture. I hope you're wearing comfy clothes. That is one of the silver linings here. Okay. Just slow yourself down. Okay. Reflect back on some times in that journey. It may be in your younger years, it may be in high school, perhaps your transition to college. And think back to some moments that may have been difficult for you. Think about what those strengths were that enabled you to overcome those times. Moments where you may not have thought you would make it to graduation. Oh, I can't do this one other paper, or perhaps some difficult or even traumatic experiences happened, barriers along the way. All these points where you may have felt insecure, unsure, defeated, and yet you prevailed. You climbed those barriers, jumped those hurdles. It was not easy. But here you are. And despite this global pandemic, you are here. May is around the corner. Despite all that we're going through, the trees are still blooming, the flowers, the birds, the nature and environment is thriving right now. I see that, I can only see that as a sign of hope. The sun is shining, and we're gonna make it, and we're gonna do it together. And I want you to think about those parts of yourself, that resilience, your strengths, your potential, all that got you through to this point. Because now is a time where we have to tap into those strengths that you have, wherever they are. Some of those are internal, within you. Those magical gifts and qualities that you have. And some of those are external. Those supports and resources in your life that helped you get through those times. We have to access and reconnect with all those resources. And most importantly, right now, is a time for self-compassion and caring for yourself and those around you. And with that, we are going to get through this. And we're going to put our seatbelts on. And we're going to do what we can to make it through this roller coaster ride. So now we're going to open our eyes and get going. How do I get Adam to the next screen? I can't seem to control the screen.
I got you.
Got me?
Yep, you're all set.
So let's take a breath here, everyone. I love the lotus flower. It's a symbol of rebirth and rejuvenation. That lotus flower was buried in the mud, and then it grew and it blossomed and it prevailed. It is resilient, and we are going to tap into our resilience, everyone. So here's the thing. We really have to watch the messages and what we breathe in, particularly right now, okay? You may not be able to control the messages that you receive from others, but what you can control are the messages that you tell yourself, and also the messages that you allow yourself to absorb, okay? So the way you talk to yourself, it can either escalate your anxiety, make you feel more helpless and hopeless and insecure, make you feel defeated, make you feel really badly about yourself, or it can instill hope and encouragement. It can help you feel stronger. It can be motivating and mobilizing. So I really want you to think about how you talk to yourself. Really reevaluate that. And give yourself love, give yourself compassion and kindness. Give it to those around you. Spread it more than ever. We might be spreading a virus, but we can also spread some positive energy and love and caring, and it all comes back around. So I ask you to do that for yourself and for those around you. We could fall into deep darkness, and there's going to be moments of that. Allow yourself that, but balance that with encouraging yourself, mobilizing yourself, motivating yourself. Please, please take care of yourself. Now, here's the thing with the job search and graduating right now. You know, when I was approaching graduation, way before you all were born, I had all these plans for this particular type of job I wanted. I did not have a global pandemic as a barrier, but that job did not pan out when I wanted it to. And I needed to reframe. And what I ended up doing was staying at my job that I was at during college. And that continued through the summer until the job that I had wanted opened up. So it required having to be flexible in my hopes and dreams and goals. And now, in these unprecedented times, it's so important to open up your mindset and be flexible with your goals and expectations more than ever. And Adam will be talking more about how to do that on the job front. So again, please practice self-care, take care of your physical health, eat well, stay hydrated, avoid drugs and alcohol, sleep, have a routine as much as possible. I know we're shifting a bit. It's like a nocturnal person's dream, you know, but then you feel kind of groggy the next day if you have to function. So find that balance that works for you. Exercise in healthy ways as much as possible. Get that vitamin D out there. I took out my bike from my garage that I haven't used in 10 years.
Awesome.
Yes, yes. So I am loving that breeze when you bike ride, and that's my plan for the next month as the weather gets better. So I am going to turn it over to you now, Adam,
Okay. Thanks,
to
Dr.
talk
Bernardi.
about some job search strategies.
Sure. Okay. So a number of things we'll look at. The first is embrace remote, contract, or short-term jobs, because frankly, they could lead to possible future employment. And we'll address a little bit more about the underpinnings of that sort of idea later. But think about it. Employers are going to ask us in job interviews currently, in job interviews in the future, way further from now, how did you stay busy during the pandemic, the quarantine? So getting something short term, even if it's a little bit here and there, can be good. And I think this quote by Richard Branson, you know, the entrepreneur, the virgin entrepreneur, if somebody offers you, and I say quote, amazing, because I don't think there's going to be too many amazing things out there just yet. I'm trying to be realistic. If somebody offers you an opportunity, but you are not sure you can do it, say yes, then learn how to do it later. And I don't think that's being underhanded, and I don't think that's being silly. But in this sort of climate, I mean, we can all learn. There's no big deal there. But if somebody offers you something, you're not sure if you can do it, you know, I don't know if it's for me, learn. Get your foot in the game and get out there. The second suggestion is to conduct virtual informational interviews. This is a networking technique that is sorely underutilized. So basically, this is you contacting someone And this could be through a friend, a family member, whomever, maybe a contact from LinkedIn, maybe an alumni contact from Montclair State University through LinkedIn, and you basically interview them. And at this point, and we know most folks are home, so this could be a gold mine. I think one of the other things with the virtual information interview is that some people are starved for human interaction, human contact. So to do a 10 or 15-minute phone call or a Zoom meeting, a Google Hangout, something like that, you develop questions based on your research of that individual and their employer and ask them questions. How did you know this was the right field for you? If given the opportunity again, how might you approach your career? Given what you know now, what advice would you give yourself as a recent graduate or a current college student? If you look up monster.com informational interviews, they give you a top 10 list of how to prepare for this. It's an awesome technique. And again, it could be a gold mine considering this climate. And I like the old school comedian Milton Berle. If opportunity doesn't knock, build a door. So this talks about our quote in the very beginning that Dr. Wadhwani and I talked about is this gives you a little bit more leverage in that we're not reactive, we're proactive. If we don't see anything coming our way in terms of opportunities, we're going to build a door, meaning we're going to set up an information interview and hopefully that networking proves fruitful later on.
I love that. I love that quote.
Isn't that cool?
I do. I really think, right now, if the job market shrinks, and this is your field, Adam, I don't want to step on your toes or
Sure.
anything, but as just, somebody who kind of has been on search committees and whatnot, if it narrows, I think
Yeah.
it's important to set yourself up for success. We want you all to be the ones that get the jobs that do come out of this, and so if I'm thinking about if I'm on a search committee, I'm going to look for someone who made the most of the opportunities, that built their skills during this time, that
Right.
engaged in service, engaged in remote learning opportunities, because that's somebody that then I'm going to see as a survivor and as resilient and kind of creating opportunities, being creative. So I think that's key right now.
Definitely. Another way, as Dr. Wadhwani said, being civic, giving back. The last bullet on this slide is jerseycares.org. This is a website. So this is where you can put in your zip code and otherwise, and it gives you volunteer opportunities within a certain radius that you design, where to go and what to do. So I think of the Booker T. Washington, the author, the advisor to multiple presidents. His thing is, if you want to lift yourself up, lift up someone else. So again, that's civic, that's giving back. And oftentimes when we give back, we get those connections that might, again, prove fruitful later. So here's a screenshot, jerseycares.org. I think I did Montclair State University's zip code. And these are some of the areas. So personal shopping, and it gives you the organization, a marketplace, a bingo time with veterans in Paramus, Earth Keepers in Montclair. What else? Pet therapy in Wayne, book buddies in Wayne. I mean,
These are wonderful.
Isn't it
wonderful
cool?
opportunities. So you're still building your resume and credentials
Yeah.
during this time where the world is at a halt, And what you're also doing that really, really speaks to me is, if we all can take this time in this moment to recognize our privilege, recognize the ways that we are blessed, and give back, and recognize what other members of our community may need supports and that extra scaffolding in hand right now in these virtual ways. So there are so many ways that we can help lift each other up right now.
And what's nice too is you see the date and time in the second to the last column on the right. So I know nobody's getting outside right now. It's not the right time. And if we do, it's certainly limited. But when this stuff clears, that's not to say we're going to get a job right away. So these are future opportunities to get out there and get face to face when, things are more agreeable.
Yeah, and build any skills that you can. I have to say, I'm a technology phobic person, and in the last 3 weeks, I think I've built like 3 years of technology skills in this like flooding exercise. And I have to say, Adam, you've helped me quite a bit through that when
Hey,
preparing for this presentation. So do what you can to help yourself grow at this time, and I think it will be an investment that will be fruitful at some point for you.
absolutely. Some more with job search strategy. So remote etiquette is a big thing now. So anytime you have these sort of remote interviews, remote informational interviews where you're collecting information, regardless of what it is, we need to look at how that is organized. So you want to have a dedicated space where you have these virtual opportunities. You want to make sure the lighting, if it's a video sort of interview, make sure you're looking at the camera, not the actual screen itself. That gives the impression of eye contact. You want to take notes. It's just like a business meeting.
Mhm.
So those are some things to consider.
Yeah. And word of warning from an experience that I have learned and grown from: if you are going to wear pajama bottoms,
Whoa.
they should be solid. They should be solid. Yeah, no checked pajama flannel bottoms. Be careful. I'm just saying.
Hey, I totally get it. And now I know not to do that.
Do not do that. Have a solid bottom that cannot be confused for
That's right.
pajamas. Okay. I'm just
So,
saying.
so speaking of, communicating with other people, you got to know your audience, right? So I suggest become a respectful know-it-all. Again, information interview, job interview, whomever it is that you're communicating with, know about them, check out their LinkedIn profile, check out maybe their employer's profile on LinkedIn, certainly the employer's main website. Are there any news headlines for that employer? Any of those things are helpful to you. And I think they're helpful too. Some of us, when we're job seeking, it's not comfortable for us to talk about ourselves. I got to be a little bit humble. Well, that's not the best way to play it. And if it is, terribly uncomfortable, you can always talk about them. That's a sort of not an easy out, but a good way to impress yourself with that. Another one, career development during quarantine. We alluded to this in the very beginning. So stay busy. Online certifications, skill development. There's lynda.com. There's Coursera. That's another one out there. Actively network on LinkedIn, send out connection requests. Volunteers, as we said, with, say, Jersey Cares. You can do self-assessment through what's called ONET. That's ONET. Lots of stuff to do because, again, employers are going to ask you, how did you stay busy? And then the last bit on this page is considering rejection. So if you want to improve your self-worth, stop giving the other people the calculator. What we mean by that is this is ridiculously difficult to discern as to why we might not be getting a call after our applications. It's even worse than the typical black hole. We apply online and don't hear anything. So don't worry so much about not hearing back. Just do your best to do a customized, optimized application for each position that you go for.
Absolutely. And even before this time, rejection, please know, I know it's very hard. You're embarking on this new phase of your life. It is part of the process, and I think it's important, again, how you talk to yourself, and how you respond to that, and just grow from it and try not to personalize. It's hard to know what each employer is looking for, and how that decision is made. And it may not be something about you. It may be a particular skill that they were really looking for, or a particular person they were really looking for. They might have had an internal hire. You don't know. So be careful the messages that you give to yourself through that process.
Absolutely. We know maybe there are budget cuts. Maybe somebody was currently in line for a position or they interned there. It's so hard to know. And again, especially considering what's going on. So networking and available resources. Those of us who are alumni and those who are about to graduate, you definitely want to join this one, the first bullet. Montclair Connect. This is the online community exclusive to Montclair State alumni. The address there is montclairconnect.org. And once you register with them, you get access to all their services, information. And they send, I'm an alum myself, so I get e-events, I get a monthly newsletter telling me what's going on. It's very, very helpful. And we say this for two reasons. One is to certainly access alumni relations and the contacts there, but here too for the second bullet. This is what's called Hire a Red Hawk. And again, if you're a soon-to-be grad, you're an alum, you've graduated, you want to join Montclair Connect first. And what happens then, they send us information, verify you as an alum, and then you get access to that second bullet, Hire a Red Hawk. This is your comprehensive career management system. Just go to montclair.edu/career services. And for current students, it's easy. You can log in through Nest, and it knows your major. It'll get you to your advisor, whether it's your career advisor's calendar. You can RSVP to events, and obviously you can check out full-time, part-time, and internships that have been posted by employers who are interested in MSU students and alumni. Third bullet, BuzzFile. This site makes the internet smaller. It's awesome. So what it does is it's the most comprehensive employer by major and state resource out there. So if you're concerned, you're thinking maybe I'd like to go out to the Midwest, so you can click on Idaho and look at your majors, psychology, business, history, whatever it is, and it'll list employers in Idaho who hire those sort of majors. And it'll list access to their website and so on. So check out BuzzFile. That's a good one. The fourth bullet, jobscan.co. That's not a typo. There is no M in .com. It's just .co. So this website is free. You do have to register. I've been part of it for about 8 or 9 years now. It is your best friend in the job search. Anybody tells you you can send out the same resume and cover letter to every position, we know that's not the play. What you want to do is optimize your resume for applicant tracking system. Jobscan.co allows you to do it. And when you get involved in this website and you see what it can actually do, you'll be like, oh, I've seen a lot of folks have that aha moment. You're like, in today's age, 2020, what's out there? I expect stuff to be lickety split. This site doesn't. It's ridiculous. Check it out. LinkedIn, most of us are on there. There's 3 tips we just want to take a look at briefly. The first is your public profile address. So this is a screenshot. This is a screenshot from LinkedIn. This is where you customize your public profile address. So when you log in on the right, it'll say, just as that is at the top, edit your public profile URL. You click on the pen. It's usually like a blue pen, right? And it'll have a bunch of letters and numbers with your address. What you want to do is change that and either use your first initial, last name, your first name, period, last name, something like your email address that's customized. And once you have that customized, there's typically 4 places you want to copy and paste this address. So again, this is your public profile address. You edit it so that it's branded, then you copy and paste it into the header of your resume. If you're using a cover letter, some employers don't dig it, some do. It depends on the industry. You want to include your LinkedIn profile address in your cover letter. Definitely your email signature, copy and paste your profile address there. And if your social media is appropriate and it's professional, you want to use it there. And or if you create networking business cards, that's another place to put it. A couple more hotspots on LinkedIn. All you got to do is in search bar in LinkedIn, type in Montclair State University. And on the bottom left, you'll hear with the little circle, it'll say alumni. So if you're interested in seeing what the graduating class from 2 or 3 years ago, what they're doing by major and by employer, you can do that. You can search by graduation date. So then you can see sort of entry level job titles. But no matter what, it's going to give you a snapshot of folks who graduated from Montclair, regardless of year, and tell you what they're doing and who they're employed by. And eventually you can use these profiles to network. Not on the same page, but typically on the right-hand side of your news feed is this section. This is fairly new. I see this, pretty much every day I'm in there. The special report on coronavirus. They do a here's who's hiring right now. So you can get an idea of what's up. Again, this might be for the short term, the gig economy. It could be contract work. Again, possible opportunities. So those are the two spots in LinkedIn we recommend. And then finally, with the resources, you just want to put this into Google. This is the easiest way to get to our YouTube channel. Just Google this, MSU Career Workshops, one word, space YouTube. And we recently did a tips to prepare for a virtual fair. This is part of our We've Got You Covered series. There's job searching, internships, how to do, whatever it is that you need inside of Hire Red Hawk. There's interviewing, cover letters, job searching, resumes, you name it. So again, when you get a chance, Google straight up MSU Career Workshops, space YouTube, and it'll bring us to our channel. Because if you do it inside YouTube, you got Michigan State University, Mississippi State University. It gets confusing. This is the best way to get there. So seeking good news. Lots of different things here. What were our thoughts on putting this together, Dr. Wadhwani?
Well, I think it all goes back to balance that we were talking about earlier. I think for myself, I'll speak personally, I find it important to stay on top of what's going on, stay on top of the news, but then I do have a certain saturation point. I
Yeah.
do have my Netflix shows. I have a couple going on at a time.
Yeah.
I try to structure my day, and then in the evening I can shift gears. I've been watching Gilmore Girls. I've been watching a few different things that I just need. It's like my therapy right now,
Yeah.
And I do think hearing about some of the positives out there, the
Sure.
resilience out there, the opportunities, those silver linings, as we call it, I think are also important.
Absolutely.
So we wanted to share some of those with you.
Yeah, I'm a big YouTuber, checking out guitar videos, all that kind of fun stuff. And my news feed suggests in whatever pops up in YouTube, John Krasinski, the actor, the guy from The Office, and he's directed a few things. He's got the I think SGN, Some Good News, right? It's his own personal network news that he puts out there, and it's all about cool stuff that's going on right now. So that's super helpful. So
Awesome.
there's a couple of things out there. Nat Geo has your weekly escape. They had a number of different articles that were unrelated, but that were also positive. There was one about the history in this feed about Amelia Earhart. There was some about there's a condition that helps people to sort of see what love is, and I could use to watch that one. The other is drawing with Disney, so Disney animators. You want to get your kids involved in that. If you have kids that take a look at it, that's a nice way to do it. The second one, this is kind of, I put this on here because, like everybody's kind of kooky sometimes. I'm not that into fashion, but, hey, here's the conversation. Hey, where'd you get your COVID mask? Well, I got it from Louis Vuitton, right?
Mhm.
So fancy. But evidently Louis Vuitton has converted some U.S. workshops to make masks. Joyable and other
I
similar
just want to
apps.
say, I got to
Oh, yeah.
interrupt Adam because I
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
share. I made my
Sure.
own
Get
mask.
down.
And I made it we have a puppy, which
Yeah.
is our COVID support animal.
Okay.
And so we had these puppy pads, the pee pads. So I
Okay.
had all this like
Whoa.
medical pee pad things and sterile clean ones, obviously. And so I made it into a mask.
That is wild.
I used ribbon and buttons of all bright
Oh, that's
colors.
cool.
And I sewed ribbon trim on them. I
Look
mean,
at you.
I look absolutely ridiculous wearing this, but that is what I wear to the grocery store. And I made a video and I sent it to my 2-year-old niece in Dubai, and she got to see Auntie Suda making
Yeah.
a really cool mask. So these are just those little opportunities to take something that also is very difficult, but take a little bit of positive in it, I guess.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. Absolutely. I saw somebody, they'd crocheted them and they crocheted a smile on the front of theirs. I was like, all right, I can do
Oh,
with that.
okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Was it the
Gotta,
third, right?
yeah, gotta do what you can do, I guess, right now to take care of yourself in any way you
Sure.
can.
So I saw this one too, the third, Joyable. Now, this is a paid app, and it seems to have gotten quite a bit of buzz. It helps people with treating social anxiety, general anxiety, and or depression. I know there are similar apps out there, and some you may want to check if you've got the insurance company backing there. Some insurance companies are offering Joyable for free. So, just something to hunt out. And if you're into apps, that could be your wheelhouse.
And I
There's
will let you
also,
know,
oh
we will
yeah,
get to it, but I'll let you know of some things that we offer to
oh yeah,
students as well. That's
oh
coming.
that's right, absolutely. Yale evidently has a free online course, The Science of Well-Being. I won't go into the reviews. It was ridiculously good. Maybe that's just enough said. Look it up. That is on Coursera as well. And then I think a
Okay.
couple more there.
I have a
Yeah.
couple more. So let's see if it works. Okay. What do you call this when you do this, Adam? I thought I did it. Why isn't it working? Can you click on
Uh,
the impact of it? See if I did that thing you taught me.
the link?
Wait, how it yeah. How come it's not doing it? I
Is it
swear I
doing it
did it.
now?
It's not doing it. Oh
I don't
no.
know.
Oh well. Okay, so I thought I had done that when you embedded. What is that? How do you call it? I'm very
Oh, the
technologically.
hyperlink?
The hyperlink. I made it a hyperlink.
Yeah,
Okay,
sometimes when you
so
pop out, it's all right. Oop,
all
go
right.
ahead.
So it is there are wonderful things happening in our environment right now. So we just have to cherish that. The sunsets, sea turtles, the dolphins, the oceans, the sky. So the air the safe air is cleaner. And also there's another app called headspace.com. I had tried a hyperlink on that too. All right, I have
So,
some technological competence to continue to build.
okay.
Let's just leave it at that.
Okay. So you mentioned resources at Montclair State.
Yes, so, okay, let's see if these hyperlinks work. Is it gonna work?
They, well, the thing is, typically with the screen sharing, and let's just do this
Yeah,
rather than hop around because you got to do a lot of screen sharing.
we'll just
Some
tell them about
folks,
it.
we can tell them about it in here too. What I suggest is some folks will take a screenshot. So you could do controls print screen if you're on a PC. Some folks take out their phone and they do a screenshot. This way you can have those addresses in your back
Oh,
pocket.
there you go.
And again,
Okay. So
this is being recorded.
please check out the CAPS website. We have a variety of resources for you. We are still here, we're still available. Please remember this whole concept of social distancing it may mean physical distancing, but there is still opportunity for social connection. There are resources available, and you are not alone. So if you go to our CAPS website, you will see there is a section on COVID-19 resources, and there we have all of this information for you. Okay, so we have our Let's Talk service, which now is called Let's Teletalk, every day, Monday through Friday. The exact hour varies by the day. Through doxy.me, we have a clinician available for support. It's like professor office hours, but with a clinician, and there is a virtual waiting room, and then we will talk to each person for approximately 15-20 minutes each, depends on the demand and how many are waiting. It's confidential. All of these services are paid for in your student health fee, and they are still available, but just virtually right now. Okay, we also have a variety of drop-in groups. We have been posting all that information to campus. You can also check us out on HawkSync or on our website for a list of all of those groups. Coping 101, Recovery Room, Mosaic Women, Connecting Across Cultures. We have a group called Empathy and Connection, which is co-sponsored with the Office for Social Justice and Diversity, where we talk about the world, we talk about COVID, we share experiences and support one another. Connecting Across Cultures, we have students from all over the world that zoom in on that. Mosaic Women is for women of color. So please know these resources are available to you. Coping 101 to help build some coping skills around all of this. I mentioned a few others as well. There's even more, so please check that out. I also want to let you know about Tau Connect. Therapy Assisted Online is a resource that typically is thousands of dollars. We had a grant that paid for this, and it is a resource available to all students and staff and faculty. You just have to use your Montclair email to register. And these are online therapy modules for stress, for anxiety, for depression, for relationship issues, for a range of issues that you may have. They are actually like sessions with information, a lot of wonderful psychoeducational material. So it's an opportunity for you to get this resource free. It comes in an app on your phone, or I believe it's a bit broader when you use your laptop with it. So I really recommend you check that out. It's a really wonderful resource. And we've gotten a lot of, it's empirically supported, and we've got a lot of wonderful feedback on it. Also, the Just In Case app. The Just In Case app is also on our website. It's a little bit hard to get to, but if you type it into the search on the Montclair page or the CAPS page, that will take you to it. That has wellness apps, wellness information and resources, breathing strategies, mindfulness, meditation links, all kinds of stuff on there for you. So please know these resources are available, and we would love for you to utilize them. Okay, that's my spiel, Adam.
I think we're all spieled out. Let's give the folks an opportunity to submit
Yes.
any questions that you have. We do have time. Any questions you have for either myself or Dr. Wadhwani with regard to sort of, keeping yourself in balance, questions about the job search, resumes, anything is fair game.
We're here for you. Let's see. We have a
Sure.
question. Go ahead,
Go
Adam.
ahead. Okay. So this came in through the chat, not the Q&A, which is fine too. Are these presentations available to alumni and non-degree students? The archive version, absolutely. So this has been recorded, and you will be able, anybody who's an attendee, like I said, will get the link for this along with an evaluation. So you can share that with those who might be interested in viewing this. Do you have to be an alum to belong to Montclair Connect? Yes. Montclair Connect is only the online community for MSU graduates, folks who graduate from Montclair State. But good questions, keep them coming. Sudha and I are ready. Oh, we got a couple over here. So this is for Dr. Wadhwani, Sudha. I'm graduating in May. Can I still use Tau after?
Such a good question. Thank you. I was thinking to share that information. Yes, as long as you have a Montclair State email, you can continue to use Tau Connect. So please do use that resource. After you graduate, other services at CAPS aren't available. If you ever need a referral, you can always obtain referral resources in our community, and the Tau Connect is available with your email.
Let's see, I came in a little bit late. How can we proceed with graduation? Now, Dr. Wadhwani and myself, both from CAPS and Career Services respectively, we don't have the answer for that. So I might start with your department and or the registrar. I don't believe that sort of information is within our purview, correct?
Correct. I do not know about graduation. I believe there is going to be something in the works, but I don't want to misspeak and give you any misinformation. So I agree with Adam. Please
Yeah,
do,
I
reach
might
out to
start
your
with,
advisor or
right,
departments.
absolutely. Another question, what do you recommend for those graduating with degrees in the performing arts in terms of looking for jobs during a time when all the performances have halted? Yeah, definitely a difficult time, no question about it. Uh, just as we said before, while it might not be related certainly to what you want to do for a living and the degree is, again, Jersey Cares, volunteering, staying abreast of what's going online with online courses, because yeah, I know
Yeah.
I've seen a number of different things, but what I might do too is, whether it's your social media or otherwise, is I know a lot of the dance students had coordinated an online dance, and it made it to President Cole's desk at one point, and she commented on it in an email. So if you can keep your chops up with that, that might be a possibility.
That's awesome. So in the performing arts, and Adam, you're a drummer, aren't you?
Well, not really. Guitarist.
Oh, guitar. You didn't do
Yeah,
drums? I thought you did
a
drums.
little bit. No,
Yeah, a
I
little bit.
wouldn't.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I'm a singer wannabe. I was a music minor, and I've been taking voice lessons that now are paused. But there are things online now. Performers aren't stopping. We can't stop. So um, keep doing YouTube videos. There's always TikTok, but also I do believe there are music schools and performance venues that are also shifting. The more time that goes by, everything is shifting to virtual. So there are platforms, and of course performers are used to recording and kind of used to making videos and stuff like that. I know I'm familiar a little bit with Jazz House Kids in town, and on their website they were doing these jam sessions online over Zoom or whatever mechanism, technology mechanisms. So keep on the lookout for things like that. Let's see, what
Let's
else?
see.
Can
Can
alum
alum
use
use
Cal
Tau
Connect?
Connect?
Yes, they can. Use your Montclair State email. You do need a Montclair State email to log into the system. I think the next one's for you, Adam.
Let's see. Are the one-on-one meetings with career services that help us? Yes. So especially for current students, what you want to do is log into Hire a Red Hawk, and within the menu, you'll see a tab that says Career Counseling. And whether you're a declared major or somebody who's pre-major, Hire Red Hawk knows where you are in your schooling, and they will direct you to the appropriate career advisor based on major. You can make the appointment, and it will be virtual. It may be over the phone, it may be video, but no matter what, these appointments are still occurring. I'm talking to my colleagues quite a bit throughout the week, and they're like, hold on, Adam, like I got an appointment, I'll catch up with you later. So it is happening over the internet there. Yeah. What do you suggest we reach out to talk about job searching more specific to your degree? Same answer. So get into Hire a Red Hawk and make an appointment. Do y'all know you have a career advisor based on major? Yeah. So that's how career advising works in Montclair State. Career advisors are completely separate from academic advisors. So they don't, provide guidance in terms of coursework. They provide guidance in resume writing, talking specifically about your major, talking about employment prospects, how to interview. So yeah, those are things. Yeah. So I'm a nutrition major and psychology minor. So I would start with your major. That's nutrition. So that's College of Education and Human Services. Yeah, get into Hire Red Hawk and make an appointment with them. How can we find them? Again, Hire a Red Hawk. After I graduate, can I still book an appointment with an advisor? That's a little bit more difficult. At this point, there is not a dedicated academic advisor, or a career advisor rather, for alumni. I might reach out to our, or to the department that you graduated from. If not, reach out to me. My email address is Mayer AD. So it's my last name, Mayer. A is in Adam, D as in David at montclair.edu. Okay, Dr. Budwani, is Let's Talk available during the summer?
Yes, it is. So to let you know, Let's Teletalk as it stands now will go through May. It's supposed to go through the end of finals. We may even extend it just to the full month of May, and then there will be a summer schedule that will start in June. We're not exactly sure what that is going to be, but it will be posted on our website. So please check out our website for that information.
Well, it looks like we've answered most of all the questions. We can hang on for another sec. I see. So, any final thoughts, Dr. Budwani? Want me to just hang out for a sec?
Please know we're available. Please utilize the resources that we shared. Please know that you're not alone. We truly are in this together. Our emails, feel free to email us. You can actually find me if you go to CAPS, and if you go to the staff page, feel free to find me and shoot me an email if there's something more confidential that you did not want to ask. You know, a lot of times people don't ask psychologists questions on these things. I'm used to it. So feel free to check us out on Let's Talk or email me. We'd be happy to be here for you.
A couple more came through on the chat, which is cool too. Are there usually presentations during the summer? I do plan to do a few career development ones in the summer. I may ask some of my buddies in career services to help out. So we maybe do something along those lines. And then Dr. Budwani, it looks like a lot of folks said thank you. We appreciate it. And I want to echo Dr. Budwani's sentiments. We want the best for you guys. And, you know, just sort of put your head down and get to work on, you know, staying active. I think that's the key for both balance as well as career development.
Please take good care of yourselves, stay connected, and know that we are here for you. Thank you all for attending. It's been nice to connect with you in any way that we can, and hope to see you around.
Okay, thanks very much.
Take care. Bye, everybody. Be well. Stay healthy. Bye, Adam.
Bye.
Nice working with you.